Spurgeon here with RevZilla, and today we're going to take a look at the AGV Sport Roadster Wax Jacket, available at RevZilla.com. So what we're seeing from AGV Sport is they're pushing a little bit more into this lifestyle look with some of their pieces. The one thing I want to note is that this is going to be a little bit more contemporary than a traditional wax cotton jacket that you would see from Belstaff or from Merlin. What we're seeing here is more of a coated cotton. Now this is only going to be water resistant, so it's not going to give you that waterproof nature that the old traditional wax cotton jackets would have, but it's not going to require the maintenance that an old traditional wax cotton jacket would have either, while still giving you that kind of a waxed look, coming in around the $250 price point. So again, what this is going to do, it allows riders that want something a little bit different, that don't want to break the bank, to get into that wax cotton appearance, but again, for around that $250 price point. Now from a sizing standpoint, I've got High-Vis Brian on my left-hand side. High-Vis Brian stands at 6 feet, weighs in at 195 pounds, has a 42-inch chest. He used AGV Sport's size chart. They put him in a large. That's what we put him in, and you can see it fits him spot on. Now sizes will range from a small up to a 3XL, and there's only one color available, and that is the black version that High-Vis Brian is wearing on my left-hand side. And when we say black, just keep in mind, this is going to be a coated cotton, so there is going to be a shine to this. It's not going to be your traditional black. It has a very glossy almost look to the material. Now, like I said, around the $250 price point, this is going to sit at the top of the line for fashionable pieces from AGV Sport, but this is just going to be a water-resistant jacket. If you want to take a look at something that's going to give you a full RevZilla waterproof liner, you can take a look at something like the Arc. The Arc is actually coming in around the $180 price point, but you're not getting the same style that you would get with the Roadster Wax Cotton Jacket. So let's go ahead and break this down and explain exactly what you're getting here, starting with the collar. There is going to be a corduroy lined collar, extremely comfortable. You do have a 2-snap closure. We can see we have the first snap done, and then we're going to have this little tie back for that second flap that's going to run across. This is almost redundant. The problem that I have here is 2 snaps up top. It's a pain in the butt. Most people aren't going to want to do that. And then the way they have this to kind of hold it back is very flimsy. It's just a small piece of cotton. I could see this easily kind of pushing through while you're riding, and then you have this giant annoying flap just smacking the bottom of your helmet, driving you insane while you're riding. So I would have loved to have seen this kind of eliminated, as it is a bit redundant for the closure on this. As we work our way down the jacket, the first thing you'll notice is there is an armor pack in the elbows and the shoulders, CE level 1 armor, and it's done in a softer style. Will be very comfortable, but also gives you that impact protection as you work your way down. The entire body on this is done with a cotton blend. It's 80% cotton, 20% polyester, and then again, it is going to be coated for that water-resistant nature. It's not going to be that full embraced wax that you would see from some of the more heritage pieces. Brian, I'm just going to hold your hand up here for a second. You do have a snap on this and then a YKK zip entry. The one thing to note, there's a full sleeve thermal liner. That's going to put this right in the 2 to 3 season warm weather category, and we say that because there's going to be vents on this jacket, so you can use it from the spring, summer, fall. I wouldn't necessarily push it all the way into the winter months unless you wanted to beef up the full sleeve thermal on this. It's a light sleeve, it's a light thermal that will get you into the cooler fall months of the year. The one nitpick that I have here is that the snaps for getting this in and out aren't color coded. They're black on both sides, so it gets a little bit confusing as to getting the thermal in and out and exactly which ones you want to run this through when you're putting this back in. Some of the other manufacturers that we're seeing out there have done a really good job of color coding this, and it would be nice to see AGV Sport do the same thing. Working our way down the front, you are going to have vents on either chest, and there's going to be a massive exhaust vent on the back that we'll show you in a minute. So you do have some ventilation if you want to use this in the warmer months of the year. And then you do have this pop of reflectivity. I would have loved to have seen the reflectivity blacked out. It would have just kind of meshed a little bit more with this blacked out theme of the jacket for my personal aesthetical tastes. As you work your way down, dual pockets, you have symmetry coming into play on both sides here. There is a little bit of an offset nature to the pocket over on the left side compared to the right. So just keep that in mind. They're going to be a little bit off, but you do have the snap pocket on both sides and then dual hand-worn pockets for your paws if your hands get a little bit chilly in the cooler months. Brian, go ahead and face sideways straight to riding position for me. Now the first thing you'll notice, you do have gussets on the back of the shoulder, so if you are more of a tuck position, this helps with comfort. And then at the waist on this, there's not going to be any kind of an expansion gusset, but if you need to close this down a little bit, you do have about an extra inch of closure on either side to fine-tune how this fits for a full 2 inches of adjustment on the whole jacket as a complete piece. Brian, go ahead and face backwards for me. Starting at the top, the collar you can see will push up underneath the helmet. Working your way down, this is where we get that massive exhaust vent across the back. So all that air that's pushing through from the front has a place to escape, and then you do have that, again, that pop of reflectivity working its way across the very top of the jacket. Now, the thing to note here, this is just a back pad. This is not a back protector, and like we would with any jacket, we would recommend that you would pull this out and replace it with a full-on CE level back protector to keep your back safe the same way your elbows and your shoulders are already protected. The Knox TP2 style back protector will fit right in here. So again, don't confuse the back pad with a back protector. You're also going to have some light padding along the very base of this particular jacket as well, just for a little bit more of that comfort and style more than any real level of protection. Brian, give me a face forward for me. On snap, unzip, my friend. So you're going to notice the first thing is you have a full layer of snaps over top of your YKK zip. Then go ahead and unzip for me. And the first thing you're going to notice here is that you do have this larger expandable gusset, which is going to help to block wind, block rain. And again, it's not waterproof, but this helps with the water resistance as well as keeping you warm. If this is out there, just making sure that any of the air pushing through gets caught up right there. Brian, hold the left side open for me. So the one thing you'll note, it is that full zip out thermal liner. You will have pockets inside the liner, and then you will also notice that if we pull this out with the thermal liner removed, it is going to be mesh line on the inside. So even if you're just using a t-shirt the way that Brian is, you're still going to be very comfortable using this against your skin. Sir, you may go ahead and zip up for me. So for riders out there looking for more of a contemporary piece from AGV Sport, the new Roadster Wax Jacket is definitely going to be one to consider, coming in around that $250 price point. Now, there's a lot of riders out there utilizing AGV Sport, and if you want to hear more about what those riders have to say, you can always click the info button on your desktop or mobile device, which will allow you to read other rider reviews from folks that are already out there putting the AGV Sport Roadster Wax Jacket through its paces. If you have more questions for one of our gear geeks as to which motorcycle jacket is right for you, your bike, your riding style, give them a shout, 877-792-9455, or simply shoot over an email to cs@RevZilla.com. Thank you for joining us for this look at the AGV Sport Roadster Wax Jacket. I'm Spurge. Enjoy the ride.